Hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right, Virgos, let's do a little check-in on the topic of love for Virgo, okay? We have got the Queen of Wands upright. Is Virgo ready for partnership, real companionship? We've got the power couple, lion, lioness flanking her. It doesn't matter what genders we're talking about. We're just talking about direct counterparts. They've transformed. Virgo's feeling very, very powerful, attractive. Virgo is decidedly in feminine energy in this storyline because now we've got the strength card and also powerful Leo energy coming in. So our Virgo could be a Leo cusper, very much ready to attract. I think Virgo is feeling pretty good about themselves. They're looking in the mirror, they're liking what they see, and they are realizing it is time. There's something here about the cosmos weighing in, and Virgo's like, we've got that infinity symbol, of course, over the lioness's head. We see, her other self like shouting in one ear, and then we see her calm self, kind of like the angel, the devil on either side of, her thinking about like, what is it that I'm really hearing? And I feel like it's time to be really peaceful, be really empowered, and know I am ready for partnership. I feel like I have a lot to offer. This is a great energy for Virgo to be in, to feel like they are ready for a partner. Four of Wands. Virgo's ready for a full-blown long-term partnership and marriage. I wonder if this is a Virgo who hasn't, in a very long time, has not considered themselves getting married, and now they suddenly, they can almost see it in their mind's eye. Something about a new dawning day, right? I feel like Virgo has not been able to picture this for themselves, maybe even ever. Maybe this Virgo has never been married, or perhaps they've not thought of being married in a very long time. This could be somebody who's been single for 15 years, and now bizarrely they're like, I woke up this morning and I understand I'm actually going to be married. I'm actually ready to call in my divine counterpart. This is almost like this energetic choice Virgo has made. Virgo wants to be married. But it's not just want, it's that they know that it's time. We have the Page of Pentacles and the Two of Wands. There is this awareness that the die has been cast. Now, of course, we all have free will, but Virgo's current life path, their current trajectory, something has just shifted, and they're on this path now that is going to lead them to their forever person, unless they pump the brakes and say, I don't want that. And Virgo can still opt out, of course. Just because we're on, let's put it this way. Let's say we've just merged onto a highway and we're like, wow, this highway is going to take me to this fabulous place, this fabulous destination. However, there will always be off ramps. If we don't choose to go to that fabulous destination, if we change our minds, we can absolutely still get off that highway. However, right now we're pointed in the right direction. And if Virgo chooses to go full steam ahead, their current set of life choices, if they say, I want destination, long-term marriage, wedding, happiness, partnership, divine counterpart, that is what they're headed for, unless they get off the highway. And they can do that. But I don't know that Virgo wants to do that. I feel like the thing that puts them on the correct highway, if you will, is this card. Virgo needed to feel not like a Queen of Pentacles or even a King of Pentacles, but like the King or Queen of Wands, which is, I'm super attractive. I have a lot to offer. I will choose a partner who satisfies what I seek. And I believe that, there is somebody out there who will want what I have to offer as well. Virgo has a much better image of themselves, much better self-esteem. Maybe they've really accepted themselves. Maybe they've been able to stop cutting themselves down and they can finally see, I do have a lot to offer. Yeah, I could totally believe that there's going to be somebody out there who wants what I've got and I'm going to want them. Being able to believe that and know that we bring something to the table instead of being, crushed with self-doubt or feelings of unworthiness. That's so great that Virgo's put that all, somewhere way in the back. Like Virgo doesn't feel that way anymore. They're ready. They're empowered. I love this for our Virgo. I love this. Okay, so Strength card again. I feel like Virgo is getting dialed in. I feel like this, man, Leo, 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 right? That's all we have right now for major arcana is strong Leo, which is leadership. We have our Virgo having this third eye, being very, awakened, very like, here I go, I'm doing this. I can feel the call. I know where I'm headed. 7 of coins. I'm going to go ahead and this is my tree of life. This is my next chapter. I feel like Virgo has already reached a point of like, if they want this, they need to be right where they are, and it's actually going to approach them. I feel like this Virgo has this huge sense of loyalty. It says, don't step down from anything that you want. Virgo, you're looking for a long-term partner. Don't settle for anything, even if somebody comes in and they're really attractive, but there's elements that are missing about what you're looking for a life partner. It says, do not change the kind of connection you really want to have. I think loyalty is very important, and something about like growing the family tree together. Doesn't mean Virgo has to go out and have babies. They may be well beyond the age of babies anyway, but whatever Virgo's like life growth plan is, I do think it's important, at least in this story, that Virgo has a partner that has the same vision for what our tree of life could look like. Somebody who maybe Virgo wants to actually like their family, fit in with the family, and vice versa. I'm thinking Virgo wants to have the kind of connection in their life where they are accepted into their partner's family and vice versa, so that there's not external conflict. I think Virgo's life goals also are still important, and they want a partner who like complements their life goals, somebody who would support them in their goals, and Virgo can, support their partner as well. I don't think Virgo wants somebody that they were so different that we never have the same thought process of what we would both want. Okay, so let me ask this. Who is this person? When is Virgo meeting them? Because to me, this looks like Virgo's got a pretty clear image of what they want. 5 of Pentacles. Whomever they are, they could be walking away from a very unsatisfying situation. They could be a fellow earth sign. They could be somebody who has felt rather trampled upon, doesn't like it. They may be walking away from a previous career or a group of people that really were more frenemies than friends. 6 of Swords. There's somebody seeking a different chapter of their own life. There's somebody seeking calm. There's somebody I feel like they're very hungry to put down roots, because I feel like they're very uprooted at this point. Emperor. There's somebody who would make a great partner. This is the perfect lion to Virgo's lioness. Somebody who wants a long-term singular partnership. They don't want billions of people that they have to please and appease. They're not looking for tons of, feel goods and, supporters and fans. What they want is to be in a powerful bond with a powerful person that it's like the one-on-one connection. It's really important, but this person is very capable of running an empire really well. But there's different kinds of empires, right? There's the empire of like, oh, I want to be famous and I want everybody to, know my name and clap for me. And that's my empire of fame and fortune. But then we also have the empire of me and my partner that I run my empire with. That's a more important empire. It's the empire of my heart. It's the person or the group that I call, my really close knit community, the people that are under my umbrella of protection, and in particular, the partner that I would choose to develop a life goal with. I feel like he's ready for walking away from the many and committing to the one. So this is a person who is like a one-to-one partnership is so much more important to him at this point. Ace of Wands, that's what his heart wants. That's what he's passionate about. This is somebody who's probably already gone out into the world, found their identity, maybe like lots of times, we go out seeking fame and fortune and, running around in this big, huge world and having all these adventures. And then we get to know ourselves. And then we know, like, I've already tried and tested myself, and I know who I am, and I know what I bring to the table, and I know what I want. This is probably an older individual, possibly a masculine, possibly an Aries, doesn't have to be. But he is in a place where he knows himself very, very well. This will be a wonderful, stable, faithful partner, because they take life so much more serious. They aren't still trying to figure out who they are. They know who they are. They know what they like. They know what they want. This is somebody who will be a very permanent fixture in life. Hanged man. And they've taken a long time. They've known that they wanted this for a while. They've been fed up with whatever lifestyle they were living for quite some period of time. It felt like more chaos in their life. What used to be fun turned into chaos, turned into like, God, I feel more like I'm people pleasing than I am, living my truth anymore. And I feel like they got kind of fatigued. They've been waiting for this change in their own life for some period of time, and now they've just fully embraced it. Okay, how do they meet? Virgo. Four of Pentacles. Hang on. They could have been divorced. 10 of Cups. Queen of Wands. Well, they seem to be uprooting their own life. They seem to be closing out chapters and cycles. They might be moving. They might be relocating. You notice somebody finally can like spread their wings and fly. This could be somebody who moves to Virgo's town. They could have said, you know what, I'd love a fresh start. I'd love to be really happy. There's a place I've always wanted to live. There's an area, a different part of town or a different city or state or province I've always wanted to live in. I think I'm going to go ahead and do it now that I'm finally, I'm intending to break free of some previous scenario. They could have had a lot of money that they owed somewhere to a previous connection that could be wrapping up. This could have been, their years of paying alimony or something have come to a close, and now they're moving outside of an area. It feels like they're starting life fresh themselves. It feels as if they are listening to their heart and they're seeking happiness. But it's so crazy because here's our Virgo, almost, and she's like calling out. She's got this candle lit. I don't know if they just energetically sense that there's a Virgo out there. Remember, Virgo is here projecting from their third eye. I feel like Virgo is calling in a divine counterpart, and he is getting the memo. It feels like the placement that these two characters are in, the way they feel about themselves, the way they feel about life, that alone is going to be enough to like put out those spidey senses that pull one another toward each other. 7 of Swords. Okay, maybe this is somebody who's known Virgo from a long time ago. Maybe this is somebody who's held on to because this is him holding on to hope, right? He's sitting here in the coffin, but the 7 of Swords is a lie. Things were never over. Is this somebody who loved Virgo a long time ago, but was unable to be with Virgo? Is that what this boils down to? 5 of Swords in the reverse, King of Swords upright. I'm going to say that's exactly what it is. Virgo, I'm saying that this is an ex who ever hurt Virgo or anything like that, but this is somebody who loved Virgo a long time ago, or certainly thought, if I ever got my life sorted, if I ever, finished this cycle that I'm in, man, I'd be with Virgo in a heartbeat. King of Swords, but he knew he couldn't bring drama, external drama to the relationship with Virgo. So I feel like this whole thing had to be put on hold. This had to be postponed. Okay, hang on. Is it going to be crazy when Virgo hears from him? Because right now I'm feeling like, what? I thought this was a whole new person. So I'm a little shocked. Ace of Wands. Here's Virgo in a wedding dress. This could have been somebody that Virgo knew when they were 25 and they worked with this person, but that person was already married. And, now Virgo is 55, 65, and this King of Swords / Emperor character is coming back into Virgo's life. 7 of Wands. There is an energy here where I almost think that Virgo and this person knew somewhere many, many years ago, you're the one I'm supposed to marry. But we sure can't do that now, can we, with the Seven of Wands? Some huge blockage, and the blockage seems to have been on their part. But let me ask, universe, for Virgo, what was, I hate it when it's like, oh, well, this was the right person, but unfortunately they were with somebody else. So Virgo just has to sit around by themselves and just wait for them to finally be ready. That's just not a storyline that I would be able to get behind. Knight of Pentacles, actually Virgo has had ample time to go out and run their races and find their success and live their life. This actually says Virgo wouldn't probably have done anything differently because Virgo had their own journey of successes and exploration that they needed to do. I kind of think that this Virgo is somebody who really, forgive me for saying it, but I don't think this Virgo really wanted to be in a partnership deep down until now. Remember, we started out that way, where Virgo is just now aware, I'm ready for my divine counterpart. I'm ready to be married now. All this keeps saying Virgo's just now wanting to be married. So on one hand, maybe this is serendipitously perfect. Virgo didn't really want to be married because they still wanted to run some of their own races for a while. They needed to go do some things that were just for their personal self-development. They needed to, see, Virgo knows this. Virgo's only just now genuinely, truly ready for a long-term partnership. And that's the same moment in time that something is wrapping up for this divine masculine that has always believed someday when my life is simpler, I will be ready. And it's Virgo I want. I've always wanted Virgo. I acted like, of course, I can't be with Virgo, but in fact, Virgo has been the one my whole life. Virgo has been the one. If I could ever arrange my life differently, the day that I'm really an emperor, the day that I'm really in charge of my own life, the day I finally walk away from or complete, other obligations, that's the day I choose happiness. I'm making a beeline for my Virgo. This Virgo has always been his person. This person's been in love with Virgo this entire time. I kind of think Virgo knows that they were not ready to be in love. Is Virgo going to be at all shocked to find that it's him showing up? Knight of Swords, no, I don't think so, because we, before we'd seen the Ace of Wands for Virgo, and then we have this Knight of Swords. No, I don't think so. I think the only thing that could be a surprise is that Virgo just now is waking up one morning and saying, I'm ready for divine counterpart. I'm ready to be married. The next chapter of my life is I'm going to wind up meeting somebody that I marry. And I just think it's a shocker because I feel like this could practically be the same day that Virgo hears from them, a few hours later. It just feels really sudden that as soon as Virgo senses it, feels it, knows it in their heart and soul, bam, they're there knocking on the door. So there's a lot of serendipity about the timing on this. All right, I'm going to leave this here. Thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thanks for giving it a thumbs up and subscribing. Bye.